Good afternoon. Thanks, Tony. As Tony just mentioned, my goal here is to try to show the real life of walking the talk about getting together sustainability and innovation in practice. So just an overview of who we are. We are a Campanelli. We are producers by DNA. Our company was established 40 plus years ago. It was established as a private corp. It's a family-owned business, but with an executive management. We were producers of oranges, and we moved to other stuff. 7 years ago, we decided to step down a little bit on the value chain, so we also invested in an industry on animal nutrition, producing vitamins and minerals, which is techno beef. Later on, cattle was getting bigger in our total revenue, so we decided to understand a little bit more of science, research, and innovation in that. So we put a research center in one of our facilities. And last year, we also, in our agriculture business, we decided to, again, to do a step down on the value chain. So we invested with other partners, some of which you've already saw here today. We had the pleasure to see them speaking, which is Tello. Tello is an organic fertilizer company that is going to be, now it's pre-operational, but my goal is to put that mill producing in 2 months. So a little bit of our numbers. Even though we're established 40 years ago, the first piece of land that we acquired was more than 100 years ago. Our total people that worked with us in the different areas are 500 plus people. We are located in São Paulo state, where we are right now. All of our land and cattle and everything we do is based in São Paulo state. This year is going to be roughly 1.2 billion reais in total revenue. And we'll be feeding this year 140,000 heads in the feedlot, and we grow around 20,000 hectares. In terms of revenue, our first business is cattle feeding. So we buy cattle, we source cattle. I'm going to talk later on about traceability, but we put one of, as you see in the little movie over there, in a facility. We feed them for 120 days and sell to packers. Today, we're selling mainly to JBS, as we have a contract with them. Also, in our history and our DNA with oranges and sugarcane, in the cattle, we were always focused on commodities, so we're producing commodities for the market. But for 2 years now, we've been focused also in the premium market on meat. So as you can see when you're having your ribeye or steak, your marbling and all that. So part of our cattle now is cattle dedicated to that. We're doing a partnership with JBS. So our goal, if you're not on the cattle industry, the price of cattle in the US now today is exactly the double in Brazil. So our goal is to put our meat in the US market so we can get a premium on that. We do all the operations on the sugarcane. You're in São Paulo State. São Paulo State, you can see a lot of oranges and a lot of sugarcane. We do all the operations. This year, we're going to be a little bit over 1 million tons of sugarcane. And I'm showing all that because one of the pillars of our company is that we're trying to integrate and trying to bring synergy among business. And sugarcane also, there's a close relationship with cattle, and the same thing, cattle with sugarcane. Also, if you're not familiar with sugarcane, sugarcane is a crop that you don't need to plow your field every year. So every 5 to 7 years, or even 10 years, depends on the health of the crop. But when we're transforming the crop, the sugarcane, in the renewal, we have grains that we have corn, milo, or also silage. It is a rough sources for the cattle. So we do that when we're renewing our sugarcane fields. And I'm aware that probably you know that cattle is eating and part is going to beef and going ribeye and fat and all, and part is going to manure, right? So it's not digesting everything, so it's producing manure every day. So when we compose that, we collect that, we do a little process. The major part of the work is done by bacteria. We're just facilitating their bacteria, and that's not called manure anymore. It's called compost because it's going to be used as fertilizers on our fields. So a little bit of the schematic thing of how we do, and this is not a PowerPoint slide, it's what we do every day in our areas. So when you're going to be renewing a sugarcane field, there's no till, there's straw in the field, because you saw the harvester, they leave the straw in the field. So we collect that straw with equipment, we bale as hay, and that will become a roughage of forage sources for our feedlot. So we're taking out of the field, giving to the cattle. Then cattle is eating and is pooping every day. So we're collecting manure and slurry that we're going to be spreading in those fields. Before we can have the sugarcane planted up to April, May, or if it's a good year, June. So what we do in our summer here in the South Hemisphere in November, we plant corn in those areas that the corn will go back to the cattle. And if we have as we have corn for cattle, we do high moisture corn that we take 4 weeks earlier. There's enough time for us to do another sorghum crop in that same field, and then we're going to plant sugarcane. So this is like a picture of the movie that we have every year and how things are connected. Then we're going to be spreading the compost. You can spread in the sugarcane in the row, but you can have in the total area, which Brazil is very dependent on import of fertilizers. So that besides the sustainability aspect of all that, it saves us a lot of money. On our last year estimates, save us $100 per hectare of not buying external fertilizers because of that. This is just a graphic showing, because we started doing composting 2011, which is the blue bar there when we started, and there are phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and organic matter. So we are in an area of São Paulo state that the soils are poor, are not super fertile. It's very, there's sandy in all of that. So you can see that only with the compost application we were able to increase the soil fertility, and it can 14% of organic matter, if you're not an agronomist, could seem small, but it's huge because it's super hard to increase organic matter. This is our innovation center. You can see the small pens and why we have a research facility within, because we're a for-profit company, right? So, but we believe, as Ellen just mentioned, that we need to put to test the technology that people are developing or we're developing ourselves. So we want to understand, okay, if I get back to the real life in a large scale, will that apply? So that's why we put that, and then we combine sensors, images, people, and all of that. I brought a couple of examples because everybody's talking about AI now, right, Alan? So we're doing a pilot for 2 years using computer vision. So you see the cameras. This is done with a startup from Austin, and the other is with the University of Wisconsin at Madison, that it's filming the cattle every day in the pen. So we understand how much is eating, how is eating, how many heads of cattle are at the bunk, what are the behavior, and it's generating a lot of graphics for our team to make a better decision of what they're going to be doing in that day or in the next day. And why is that? Because nutrition is a major part of our cost, and also is a major component of the performance of the animal, so we need to manage that. And this is one of the areas that we are putting together as innovation. This is just to show the first results that yes, we're seeing, you can see on the on your right graphic, the hours empty. It means how many hours the feed bank was empty. And you can see that it's decreasing. And why is that? Because we don't want the banks to be full all day, but we do want to understand when they're going to be empty. And you can see the graphic that is decreasing. That's not because of the camera are not doing anything. It's because our team is getting better using the camera. So they're managing better. And you can see that we were with 9 hours, and now we're 5 hours. And that's basically because they have more information. The algorithms is telling them what to do. So the way that we see technology and innovation in our operation, whether it's in agriculture or in the livestock area, is just like the Iron Man movie. You know, it's still a human being, but then it can fly, it can shoot missiles and all that, but it's still a human being. So this is what we're doing with our team. They're still human being, but they have more tools now that they can work better and do things that they weren't able to do before, because nobody, even the more dedicated employee, won't be able to watch 24 hours, 7 days a week, cattle. Since this is a sustainability panel, everybody knows, and Minerva showed this morning, the cattle also emits methane. There's a huge discussion whether it is impacting the way that it's impacting. But anyway, we have also partnerships with institutional research centers in Brazil. Those red dots in the lower cattle, these are little equipments that is measuring how much of methane they are emitting. It's kind of labor, so that's why what we don't do internally, we partner with them. So it's called SF6, the way that you can track that. And why? According to Alan, there's going to be an incentive. Today, there's no incentive in reducing methane, but we believe that we need to understand that better so we can take actions when there's money on the table, so we can talk about that. So that's why we're doing that. And one of the biggest topic that you can see below, I don't know if people from there's our cameras on the chute where we process cattle, that we're doing a partnership with Embrapa and a Japanese company that today the cattle has ear tags for traceability, and traceability, and we want to do that with images, like you have on your iPhone, the Face ID. We want to bring the Face ID of each cattle for traceability. And why traceability is important in Brazil? Because cattle, different from a sugarcane, a soybean, or an orange tree, cattle moves around, right? So it could be in a devastated area or a deforested area in Amazon, for example. So if you have food traceability and you can guarantee that Pedro is Pedro, that Alan is Alan, you can have the whole, and Tony is easier to spot, right, Tony? And we also are developing that with Embrapa to use images and have a traceability check. And we love what we do, but we're always looking at other opportunities and how we can add value to our business, to our shareholders, to our community. Not only add, but also amplify value. So we're always looking, and we believe that sustainability in our area, it goes through also take advantage of all the resources that you have and make the best use of that. And this is one Google Earth photo of the videos that you just mentioned. And what we're going to do now to add and amplify value, we're going to start this in a couple of months. So we're planning to put up there a milk production. Coincidentally, we were already talking to Nestlé if that fits also what they're looking for. And for us, we have a lot of synergies, and we are going to be putting it's going to be around 120,000 liters of milk per day. And also with that, we can produce biogas with the slurry and the manure. It's hard to do that with the feedlot manure, but it's easier with the dairy. And with the biogas, we want, again, extracting the most of the resources. In our other fertilizer plant, we use natural gas to put heat on the granule that we're producing. So we want to take the gas out of our fertilizer plant so we can connect all the system. And also, milk is a product that you need to ship every day, conceptually. And discussing a little bit, you can have trucks using biomethane as a fuel, and then they're going to be over there. So this is what we're planning to strengthen the way that we see sustainability, to take advantage of the resources that we have, and also to keep the economic sustainability of our company as well. So I think that I covered the time, Tony. So,
Pedro, don't go.
No, and I have, because somebody, I think Vinicius mentioned before about the social media in Brazil, so I need to show that because our marketing team will shoot me if I don't show the Instagram page. Okay.
So Walter had to leave, because he's planting 1.2 million trees a day, yeah. And they were running out of labor, and he had to be there. But I mean, he showed us this massive forestry operation. And then Alan talked about technology as a service, I think. And now you're coming back again with this big thing going on. And when I look at the young students that are here, they might be thinking, well, maybe I want to be an entrepreneur, maybe I just get a job, and how can this be related to smaller operations? Because if they're not profitable, they won't be sustainable. So how can we actually put all this also in smaller operations that it really would make economic sense and monetize that in some way? Do you have experiences of going with your projects to other ones that can adopt it? Do you share that information? Do you collide with them in a co-op way, actually, how do you think that might be able to work in a smaller scale?
Yeah, that's a great question, Tony. We do collaborate, so we get visitors all year round that we discuss, and people are seeing and looking at what we're doing, trying to replicate in their yards, in their fields, what they're doing. But this is a kind of a tricky question because...
maybe not everything is possible, but
yeah, exactly, because my personal point of view, I don't like to be, in terms of agriculture, I don't like to be romantic. So for me, there are some things that if you're a small producer, you're going to be limited. And I'll give you an example. The machine that I show doing the compost, it's worth $1 million. So, if you're a small producer, the machine is great. But again, can you do that in a smaller way? Yes, there are ways that you can do it. You're going to lose some of the efficiency, but there are. But I would say that there's a point that we don't talk much. There's the downside of scalability, right? For example, on our case, even though with precision agriculture and all that, I cannot treat every hectare by hectare. I treat that as a group of hectares because it's impossible for me to manage. The same thing with cattle. Like today, I already bought a lot of cattle, so I'm not there seeing that. But if you're a small producer, you can take advantage of that. So I would say, but that also implies that you need to be more dedicated of what you're doing because then you can extract more. And maybe one other thing is that in terms of those cameras and traceability and computer vision and sensors, those things, I don't get a lot of discount buying one piece or 10,000 pieces.
They're not scalable.
Yeah, they don't scale much. So if you're small with 20 dairy cows, you can buy the same collar, only 5% more expensive than I would buy. So I think that going to technology also, it's a way of coupling with being small.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Pedro Terencio. An applause for him, please.
Thank you.